Yo, what is great in the States? It is the guy, the voiceless wonder, G Money here.
Wow,
you're not a voice of choice right now for sure.
No, this is not the voice of choice. And I sounded like this on the last show, which means it's been a whole 7 days since I've sounded like this, and it's not getting better.
Wow.
Yeah. There's something that's been happening that's been going around. That's what they say. Like, you're not the only person who's been dealing with that. So I don't know. It's a weird season between a new variant of COVID and a new the laryngitis floating around. So yeah, just be safe out there in them streets. Put on your mask if you have to, because we are not out of the woodwork, as you see.
No, we're not. We're definitely not.
But anyway, it's me, DB. You know.
Well, we all know who I am. I'm only the greatest wrestler on the indies of all time ever.
Oh, don't ever say that. You're crazy.
On the screen right there, Mr. Magnificent.
You are insane.
Let me believe that in my mind.
Accusations. These are not accusations.
Well, welcome to Matt Smash and Smash the Mat. You know, it's another great episode. We are here. This is episode 113. Jesus Christ.
113.
Jesus Christ. That's a good number. And you know, not much has happened. We are still, you know, post Royal Rumble and now post Vengeance Day, and you know, it's the wrestling world is shifting as we're getting ready for these big events. But there's been a lot of big news and about a lot of big things that have happened recently.
Indeed so. But before we jump into anything, I just want to take a minute. We actually lost a member of our wrestling family this past a few days ago, a couple days ago. Mr. Mark Hazard. He was dare I say, an indie legend, and I use that term because everybody knew who he was. Everybody knew the gimmick. Everybody knew him. And he was not only a phenomenal performer in the ring, but he was a great person in general.
Nice guy.
You know,
just amazing father.
Yeah. So we definitely want to send our condolences out to all of his family, his friends, and all of his fans as well.
Absolutely.
And then
was completed.
Yeah. And then next up recently, Jerry Lawler, Jerry the King Lawler, actually suffered a massive stroke recently. They found him outside of his home, you know, and luckily enough, he was found in time. And luckily enough, with some good news, he is out of the ICU and he's healing up. Giving thumbs up to the fans out there and everything, and you know, 73 years old, and we know that the man was still wrestling like normal too, even after his big massive heart attack that he had on the one episode of Raw back in I want to say that was 2011. Was that 20? Yeah, it was about 2012 episode of Raw when he had a heart attack. So I'll
first stroke he's had either. He had another one back in 2018, I think it was.
Stroke. I think this is. I don't know. It's not saying anything about that he's had a stroke previously, but he has a history of heart issues. So hopefully, you know, hey King, stay healthy. That's all we can hope for. Yeah. But let's get into what has been happening. Just this past Saturday, NXT came to our backyard of Charlotte, Wrestle Country, and you know, the one and only Charlotte Flair introduced it. She gave like an awesome opening speech breaking down the matches and stuff before, which is really great. NXT, I feel like they've ramped up the appearances lately. Of main roster talent, which is how it should be. You should be seeing the main roster talent going back and forth with that. But they had their biggest, they went back on the road for the first time in a long time, actually. I think since before pandemic, to do a big time premium live event for Vengeance Day, and there was a big ton of craziness that went down with this show. I watched it, and honestly, I feel like from 2.0 to now, they're kind of starting to remove all the silly kind of gimmicks, because they kind of went back to silly gimmicks whenever it became 2.0, but now they're just kind of letting them be more themselves, more personality, and then giving them a chance. And if you still are wondering how NXT is, their work is still some of the best on television. Just to give a rundown of the matches, Wes Lee took on the one and only Dijak for the North American Championship, and Wesley did win. But the big story that came out of that, number one, it was a great match, but the big story that came out of that is what happened to the man Dijak.
Absolutely, because I don't know why I can't find anything. I done threw everything in here.
Hey, see, we're having mic issues today, and pictures everywhere. It's just the usual when it comes to
too much.
It just happens.
I thought I just had it down.
Yeah, but just so you know, Dijak's finger was broken completely. That thing was bending. Still completed the match, luckily enough. So good on him. And I still like this new character. I'm happy Wesley won, but here's my thing. I know Sean and Triple H really love long title reigns. Like, look at that thing. That's disgusting. Disgusting. I know Sean and Triple H like long title runs, but maybe this would have been the time to go ahead and give it to Dijak.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I thought.
I don't know, but Wesley, he's a great talent, and maybe they got some other plans for him, but that's what they did. Now, another twist in the next match, Fallon Henley and Kiana James, they were just recently teamed up as kind of a makeshift tag team. They've been feuding for a bit, but they're set their differences aside because Kiana James is actually dating Brooks Jensen, I think, on the show, and so. But it seems like she's using him. So I don't know what kind of storyline they're going with that. But I like Kiana James. And they faced off with the longest reigning NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. And they defeated them for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. I did not see this coming, honestly. This just about most of the show messed up my prediction, so therefore I hate it for that reason, because I'm always right. But Sean decided to throw some twist on me. Let me just tell you, if you haven't seen Katana Chance and Kaden Carter's finisher, their tag team finisher, it is, I will say, one of the best tag team finishers there is today. You need to go look it up. So basically, Kaden Carter gets her like on her knee, and then Katana Chance gets up and hits a 450. It is like next level. Like they kill it. It is a crazy move. But those are your champions. Katana Chance Kiana James winning the title just in time for Black History Month. So good on her. So yeah, that happened. Next up, though, was a big match. This was probably one of, if not the match of the night, kind of, because it didn't really go as anybody expected. 2 out of 3 falls match. The one and only him, Carmelo Hayes, of course, accompanied by the one and only Trick Williams, defeated Apollo Crews 2-0. The big difference. Now, Apollo Crews, what happened was a good old friend of his from way back in his days of being the prince, the Nigerian prince he was, Daba Kato, the formerly known as Commander Aziz, returned and turned on Apollo Crews, causing him to lose. So Daba Kato is back, which is great to see. He's another big, tall guy. So they could probably really use him. But he took out Apollo.
I haven't seen NXT a whole lot lately. So does Apollo still have the accent, or did he lose it again?
No, he dumped it once he went to NXT. So pretty much what they're doing now is they're bringing people down who are like in between and kind of reshuffling like they used to back in the day when they would send somebody down to developmental to like fix their gimmicks, their new gimmicks. Like Dijak, for example, he was just T-Bar for the longest time, but he came down. Now he's got a new look and a new feel. And same thing with Apollo. He went back and he kind of went back more to like a back to basics and went like serious. So pretty much if you go to NXT now, you're going to get yourself resuscitated. That's what we'll call it. Next up was a big fatal 4-way tag team title match for the NXT Tag Team Championships as Gallus defeated the New Day, Pretty Deadly, and Chase University, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. I actually picked Chase University as the winners for that one, but sadly I was incorrect. And Gallus,
I chose Gallus.
Yeah, which you were correct. Honestly, this match could have gone anyway, so I wasn't mad at this one. But it did suck. It did mess up my picks overall. But Mark Coffey and Wolfgang representing Gallus, they won. I don't know where Joe Coffey's been.
That's a good question.
Yeah, where has he been? I think he might be injured or something, but he has not been around for a bit. So I don't know what's the deal with that. And he was the leader at Gallus, but right now they're representing. Next up, this was one of the most talked about matches. This was for the women's championship, the NXT Women's Championship, as Roxanne Perez defeated Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, of course, the two members of Toxic Attraction that were left after Mandy's sad release. And Roxanne is still your champion. Now, only 21 years old. Like, I got to give credit to Roxanne because she's been killing it. Again, last year she started off as the ROH Women's Champion and ended the year as the NXT Women's Champion. Like, I'm telling you, you can already mark your words. If you don't know who Roxanne Perez is, she is going to be the future of the business, and she'll probably be one of the top people when she gets called up to the main roster. There is no question about it. The girl can work. The girl's got she's a straight up baby face, and there are a few that you could actually root for nowadays, and Roxanne Perez is one. And in the main event, in a steel cage match, Braun Breaker, he survived the steel cage match. He defeated Grayson Waller for the NXT championship. Now I thought this was Waller's match to win, because there's not so much more Braun can do. He's been on again, off again champion of NXT since they did the 2.0 change. So it's kind of crazy to still see him as champ. But the big thing at the end of the event, Carmelo Hayes came out on that stage and did that point, like, I'm coming for you next.
Yeah.
So we know what the match is going to be. Stand and Deliver is the show right before WrestleMania this year, and it will be the NXT show. And so you can already mark my words. The main event for the NXT championship will be Carmelo Hayes taking on the one and only Braun Breaker for the NXT championship. And I think this is going to be it for him. Carmelo is taking the title, and that's what needs to happen. If anybody is the new school Shawn Michaels, is Carmelo, because you can tell Shawn is like giving pieces of his gimmick to every single person that's on his main eventers, at least. So right. he gives like a little piece of their gimmick, like Mello and Trick are kind of like Shawn Michaels and Diesel were back in the day, the two dudes with attitude. And yeah, it's great. We'll go right ahead.
I'm with it.
Yeah, we'll go right ahead to this week's episode of NXT, because not too much happened. They turned Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, though. They're heel now. All of a sudden. Them? Yeah, they're heel now. All of a sudden, because they started talking trash to Roxanne. Like, she's got the Rey Mysterio syndrome, I've realized, where everybody just seems to hate her for some reason, even though she's like the nicest person.
It's because she's young.
Yeah, it must be. It's the Rey Mysterio syndrome, like where they'll look at you and they're like, "Man, I hate you." Like, I'm mad now. I'm angry. Like, every team member of Rey Mysterio, even his own damn son, have turned on him. Like, he's got a curse. He's cursed. It must be the mask. And also a new tag team. They were feuding for the last few months, but Isla Dawn and Alba Fire are now a tag team. They've kind of set their differences aside. So NXT is doing a good job of building up their women's tag team talent and their women's talent. Now, returning next week is, of course, the final boss herself, Mako Satomura. She's teaming up with Roxanne to take on Kaden and Katana. So that's going to be a big match. The big thing that everybody was talking about, though, was at the end of the show, Bayley returned to her home NXT to host an episode of Ding Dong Hello, her talk show.
Hello.
And her guests were Toxic Attraction. Now, we thought everything was going well. They seemed to get mad at each other. But the big deal, they raised their hands, and JC Jane turned on Gigi Dolin. Yeah. And when you were watching it, you started to have a feeling of that you've seen something. You've seen this before, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's because, like I told you, Shawn Michaels likes to give pieces of his own gimmick to people. So it was the barbershop window situation. JC Jane flat out turned Gigi into Marty Jannetty in this. It was brutal. Now, the brutal thing is, I think they were having a little bit of mess ups because I think Gigi was supposed to go through the door, but that door was not moving. So she slammed into that door. And then the most brutal thing was she gave her a kick to the head that was like straight up. She like bashed her head up against that door. And she posted a picture, like her face was kind of all marked up after that. Now, I kind of saw this coming for a while because Gigi's been getting cheers since Mandy was around, where a lot of people were thinking she was going to be the one to turn on Toxic Attraction or something, or kind of go on her own. But you can already see what's going to happen. They're going to probably feud for a good bit, but Gigi's going to be probably going to be a top face contender for NXT, and JC Jane, who has been like she's kind of shined in Toxic Attraction with her promos and everything. She's going to be a pretty good heel. So you got that to look forward to, especially after your next round of call-ups. So, yeah, brutal. That door was not moving. And poor Gigi.
Not at all.
Did their job.
Not at all.
Yeah, poor Gigi. So, and we know Gigi can work because she's the former indie-centric person, Priscilla Kelly, who, she's traveled the world, so we know she.
You know what?
Yeah. That's who Gigi is. She looks different now. She's a lot. She's a lot.
I had no idea.
She's a lot thicker now. So that's something different. Insert Lashley gift.
She done got thicker.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to see it. In all my
Let me talk to
you. Yeah. That's right.
Come right back to it.
Oh man, I swear, if you see me in wrestling groups and you see that GIF going on, it's bad. You know what time it is, so just accept it. Other than that, not much has happened. Raw was a pretty good episode. Cody Rhodes, of course, cutting a promo, and Paul Heyman walked in, and it got real quick.
I wish my voice was better because I finally learned the words to the song. Adrenaline in my soul. My late dad was Dusty Rhodes. Do it all for Martin Luther King. That's it.
Crowd is here. It's time to go. And my name is Cody Rhodes.
And of course, we have to salute. We always have to, give a special shout out to Cody because he has been an integral part of Black history.
Yeah,
You know it.
absolutely.
You know he did it. Special thanks to our good old friends, Public Enemies podcast, because they're some of the best memers. For number one, this is not even a meme. They found a actual historical
Historical
picture.
Yes,
That's
They
right.
found it
Well,
of real, because Cody Rhodes, you know, he stopped racism for his biracial daughter and for all the children out there. That's just how it goes.
You know, that's just what it is.
Yeah, that's just what it is. But what a promo. Like, first of all, what a promo. If you were wondering how this was going to be, because everybody, of course, they're bugging. They're like, Sammy should be at main event of WrestleMania. No, he shouldn't, because that's not what the feud is about. They proved it this week. Paul
Yo, it's
Heyman.
crazy because people really got it misconstrued. They
Yeah, they
really
did.
think it should be Sammy.
Yeah, which you're crazy. Like
People are they're trying to book,
yeah,
and everybody gets a trophy type of WrestleMania.
that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Now, I did see something which was really interesting. Somebody described it. They're like, Sammy is Mick Foley. And I was like, oh my God, that is the perfect description of what he is. Especially when The Rock was trading off with Stone Cold for the title and Triple H was thrown in the mix. Mick Foley was kind of in the middle of all that mess. And yes, he got the title during that situation, but it was never about that. He was another part of what's going on. You could have multiple great storylines going on, and it could be for different titles. Like this one is going to be about the tag team titles. So that's what we're going to worry about. But let's talk about the real stuff. If you want to see a WrestleMania feud, then you bring in Paul freaking Heyman.
That's right.
And they straight up, they got it off like Cody interrupted Paul. He's like, first of all, I want to say I have so much respect for you. He's like, when we were struggling, we barely had $100 in our account. You gave my dad a chance and you gave him hope again. And Paul Heyman almost started bursting out into tears instantly.
Yeah,
and he was like,
ready.
he was not ready. He's like, I was not prepared for that. He's like, it got real. He's like, okay, it got real really quick. Now, that was a great promo. But the line that was the killer was at the end. And they brought up real history, like straight up. Because NXT, the reason why NXT was the way it was Dusty Rhodes. He was in that role of kind of the head trainer, like in a way, the one that was inspiring people. You look at all of the people. You look at Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, Roman, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, everybody, the New Day, everybody that you know now as your top superstars. Dusty had a hand in it. And he straight up trained Roman Reigns. And Paul Heyman said, he's like, he told me not long before you passed that you were his favorite son. But Roman was
I was like, when he said that, I was like, man, don't do that.
I was like, don't do that.
Don't do
First
that.
of all, that was dirty.
Talk about you got a favorite kid. I was like, don't do that to that man.
But the killer, because Paul Heyman is nasty like that. He said, but Roman is the son he always wanted.
Oh,
whoa, wow, what?
I needed the ether beat for that.
Yeah. And Cody grabbed his hand and straight up, he took that grip, and you're like, okay, now it's real. He said, okay. Cody said, okay. It's like, you just messed up. He said, you just messed up. Now I got to kill your boy. Yeah, that's what he said. He straight up was like,
he said, I just wanted a title.
I just wanted a title.
Made it personal.
And I said, now you made it personal. Now I have to murder him. Like, that's what Cody said. He's like, in fact, he's going to call his wife. His wife is coming out next week. And she's like, oh, who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch? Get ready.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
I'm surprised she didn't do that on Monday. I'm really surprised. She was fighting the urge. She wanted to. She wanted to. She wanted to come out. And they're like, and Triple H is stated at Gorilla. He's like,
set me free, Cody.
Yeah.
Set me free.
Yeah.
Like,
but and instantly in one promo, we got a WrestleMania feud. See, that's the difference. That's the difference.
Absolutely.
Also, they're building up Elimination Chamber. They were going ahead and filling out the rest of that card.
Yes. So we've got all of the combatants for the male and the female, right?
Yep. We do officially.
Yeah. So the men's elimination chamber is going to be for the United States title.
Mm-hmm.
It has got Austin Theory, Seth Rollins,
Mm-hmm.
Bronson Reed,
Mm-hmm.
Montez Ford. Who are the other two?
Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest.
There we go. There you go.
That's a lot of new competitors. Only 2 people in this match have previously. Well, no, I'm wrong. 3 people. So 3 of them have previously been United States champion, which is including the current champion Austin Theory, Seth freaking Rollins, and Damian Priest. They've all been U.S. champion, but then you got Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, and Montez Ford. Now, the interesting part, Damian Priest beat Montez's partner, Angelo Dawkins, to get in the match. And even though they dapped each other up, I still feel uneasy about the situation. So I don't know what's coming, but is this the start of Montez's eventual rise to the top? We'll see. So I mean, early enough since we know the match, who do you think who's your early pick? Now, this is before our pick episode, so we do still have time to change it before prediction episode.
I'm only going to say Austin Theory because I'm still thinking they're laying seeds for John Cena, Austin Theory at WrestleMania.
And see, me, on the other hand, because they're doing Cena versus Theory at WrestleMania, I don't think it's going to be for the title. I think he's going to lose it so there wouldn't be a title online, so they won't run the risk. Yeah. I think they would rather have Cena lose just a normal match and not lose a title match. So, yeah. Dawkins needs to turn. He's not going to
turn, though. He's not turning.
I've been over it for like a year or so, but that's just because I feel like they've done everything they can do as a tag team.
I don't see like, and obviously I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he'd be a good heel.
Yeah.
He'd have to, he hasn't shown me anything.
Yeah.
That lets me know, yeah, man, this dude would be a kick-ass heel.
Yeah,
like,
the only thing I could
is being a good heel.
Yeah.
I couldn't see Dawkins being a good heel.
The only thing I could see is Dawkins joining a group. So like, especially with this new Hurt Business reunion, which by the way, Shelton and Cedric won on Monday. They won their match.
Yes, I saw that.
So that makes things interesting. So, but I could see Dawkins maybe joining up Hurt Business. Like, I'm not one of the people who are like every black person should be in a group together. But if
he hates that.
Yeah, I hate it too. But this would be a logical thing to do with someone like Dawkins, to put them in a group that's a heel, and then he could start developing his own personality for sure. I wouldn't put Montez in that group though. Montez needs to go on his own.
Montez is the bigger star now.
But if anything, I could see Johnny Gargano or Bronson Reed actually winning this match. Like, surprisingly enough, I feel like you could set them up like tremendously this way. So, and having a good worker like Johnny holding the title, that would be good. Because I feel like he's kind of just been there on Raw. He's been hanging out with Dexter Lumis.
Right.
Granted, he actually had a pretty good match with Baron Corbin to get into this match recently, but that's what you need. You need Johnny wrestling, holding down your mid card, having great matches every week, keeping that title focus, as number one. And then even better, I would say WrestleMania, we do like an old school ladder match and do it for the United States title. Put him and a bunch of people, and then you got another grade A match. Because it's not WrestleMania without a great ladder match. So
yeah,
do a ladder match on each night of WrestleMania.
Hey, I'm down. I fully support that.
That'll be interesting.
I fully support that. Now the other one is the women's. This is actually for the number one contendership for the Raw.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania, the winner faces Bianca Belair, the one and only Asuka, Nikki Cross, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalia, and the returning Carmella, who's back to her old school, moonwalking gimmick and stuff.
Right.
I kind of laugh, even though she's had this theme for a little bit. I feel like she low key just listens to the radio. Like her first theme, she's like, I want it to sound like Iggy Azalea. And then this next one, she's like, I wanted to sound like Megan Thee Stallion. So that's all of her songs are like bad remakes. But hey, it's good to see her back, especially after everything that she dealt with her miscarriage and everything, which was extremely sad. My worry is she's already trying to be a heel again, and it's tough to boo somebody after they've been through
I know, right?
shit. Like, I hate when WWE does that.
We genuinely feel for you.
We know. We pay attention. Like, you can't just throw them in and try to make them a heel again. Like, we're not gonna cheer them. Like I think this would have been the perfect time to make Carmella a face again, and just I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what goes down with that.
But I bet you she wins.
To face
to go to
they don't.
WrestleMania?
Not at WrestleMania.
Against Bianca?
You're crazy.
Oscar's like 4 times already.
They've faced a billion times. Yeah. Bianca has faced her more than anyone else since she's.
Ain't no way she winning that.
For both titles, for the Raw and SmackDown titles, she's feuded with her. The winners, Asuka, is clearly going to be Asuka. They've specifically kept them apart for a year in this whole situation. Now, Natalya deserves a dominant title run. She already had it.
I don't know if she deserves a dominant title run.
She already had one, though, years ago.
Maybe a title run, but I don't know about a dominant one.
That's another thing. Unless Natalya does a drastic character change, then no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's like a supporting,
Yeah, I think she's winding down, and she kind of needs to go ahead. I think NXT needs to hire her full time, like her and TJ need to get hired full time to help with that program. Because every wrestler goes and works with them anyway, goes to their gym and trains. So I say just go ahead and hire on.
Moose does, Dawkins does.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Who was just there? There was a wrestler that was just there recently. Yeah, Raquel. Now, which our good old friend Bryant, good to see you as always. He says Raquel. Now, I think Raquel's not going to hit until she turns heel too, because the smiling thing is just not working. I'm sorry, it's so tough isn't it so tough to cheer for a big tall person? Have you noticed that?
No, it is not.
It is tough to cheer for him. No, I'm saying it's tough to cheer for a big tall person.
Oh,
I've yet
Undertaker. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's the Undertaker.
Kevin Nash.
Because it's freaking Kevin Nash. That's different.
But you said a big tall person.
It took years for them to develop that.
Booker T is tall. I love
No, not tall like that.
tall, not tall like
but we're talking giants. She is a giant by woman's standard, and it's so tough to cheer for them. I'm telling you, there is not one where, unless they've been in the business for a long time and then, get to that, unless they get to that legend level.
You like Big Cass and Enzo?
Well, that was a different case because of Enzo. If Cass was just not with Enzo to begin with, nah, you would have booed the shit out of him. And then what did they do? They had them split up anyway.
Hold on, man, because this is why I'm just poking holes, because I like Test. Test had my favorite finisher forever.
He got booed for most of his career. They had to turn him heel because he was a terrible face. I'm telling you, anytime they try it never works.
Stole his woman.
Every time they try it, it never works. And it's sad that you cheered for Triple H more for stealing a woman. Come on now.
No,
it did not work.
That's why they booed him.
Huh?
Because he let him take his woman.
Yes.
How you gonna let that mother take?
How you gonna let that man take your woman? Exactly. But it never works. You know me. I would tell you something. I will be the honest person here and tell you when something never works. That's freaking non-title matches never work. They don't make sense. Cage matches that end in pins, they never work. They don't make sense. And then giving the Money in the Bank to a face never works unless they call their shot. It never works. So, and a face tall person that is not like a legend, it does not work. So she needs to go heel. She needs to get a little mean. She needs to stop smiling so much. We call it a day. So yeah, Raquel ain't gonna hit until that happens. So she just look awkward. Huh?
Raquel's a star.
She is a star. No, I'm not saying she's not a star. I'm just saying she's not going to hit until they do that change, that flip. Like, remember when she first came? Like, she popped up and like helping out Dakota Kai. God, I was like, who is this beast? She was a beast. And then all of a sudden she's hitting the smiling and all that stuff, and nobody started caring as much. I'm telling you, this is real. Oh, see, in fact, this further proves my freaking point right here. Yes, that's exactly why. It's exactly why you cannot keep. You couldn't keep a Big Show face for barely a week before people got sick of it. They were like, "Nah, this ain't working."
I think that's an indictment on the character, not because he's tall.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, in fact, go ahead and put it out there. Give me an example. Try to continue to try to poke holes. I'm telling you, I have an argument. Who
The
else?
Great Khali.
Oh, that. Okay, come on now. Be serious.
We
Be
said
serious. Huh?
We said wrestlers. Khali's not a wrestler.
Be serious. Be serious. Khali was barely a character as it was.
No, yeah,
Accusation.
no,
Yes.
no.
Accusations. These are not accusations.
Not
These are not accusations.
Keith Lee, I swear. You look terrible.
What about Awesome Kong?
Awesome Kong.
She's tall as shit.
Yeah. Most of her career she was
She
in.
is.
She's not really. She's
No.
taller than the other women, and even then, she was always mainly a heel. She was rarely ever a face.
Oh my gosh.
She's never been. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. Perception. I know.
Figure something out.
Yeah, I know. Keep trying. I'm gonna tell you I'm right. But let's keep it. What else happened on Raw? Not much
Cage match.
happened. Huh?
The cage match.
Oh yes, the cage match.
I
Yeah, the big time.
That
The big
ended
time. Big
with
time Bex defeated Bailey with the help of the legendary, the one and only Lita is back, baby. Just in time for WrestleMania season, Lita has returned. Now, I'm happy to see her back. I've always liked Lita, and the big thing I hated, she faced Becky last year, and then wasn't at WrestleMania randomly. Like, wasn't it kind of BS? Sid Vicious
Vicious.
again, further prove my point. He didn't even do. You're crazy. You're crazy. Psycho said they turned him heel not long after that face
Did
run.
justice.
Yes, remember when he won the title and then they changed that shit really quick? They turned him heel. Huh? What'd you say? Mabel? Get out of my face, man. Shut up. Shut up. Be serious. Like I said, be serious. Like you're proving my point. Every person you're listing has turned heel, usually pretty quickly, because they never stay face long because it don't make sense.
Braun Strowman. He's a hell of a face.
I would agree.
For right now.
But when he's face, he gets cheered like a mug. When he's not chopping down people for doing flippy stuff.
Well, he just needs to stay off Twitter. That's all I'll say about that, because he won't be a face for too long. After a certain point, yes. Now, yes, certain, like I said, but that's further proving my point. Most of his career, he was a heel, though. But after a certain point, if you reach that legendary status, you can't help but be a face. There are certain people who can't ever really turn heel anymore without doing something drastic, and even then, people still cheer him because they're a legend. So, yeah, there's different when it comes to attractions. Once you get to the attraction level, you're going to get cheered regardless, just for showing up.
Oh yeah,
Like a Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think Braun has reached attraction level. In fact, he came in as an attraction. They threw everything instantly, and they kind of shot themselves in the foot early. I think the only problem was not giving them the title as fast as they could, because then you could have already been done with that and just had them as an attraction, called it a day. So yeah, you know what? Yes, further proof. Again, I'm still right because Braun Strowman is now attraction level. He was face the whole time. I mean, are you really face though? It's like he had to turn heel though.
Wait a minute now.
Now
He had to turn heel though.
Don't move the goalposts now.
No, but he had to turn heel though. He still had to turn heel though for the biggest moments of his career, which were in WWF days. I mean, but you're still an attraction. He was an attraction. So,
yeah, I give that to you. Maybe.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm just saying Raquel's going to need to turn heel soon, or she's just going to be spinning wheels. She ain't ever going to be close to the title, because what do you do? It's like, who do you logically have her face off against? Who do you logically have her feuding with? Like, you need to have her on a monster run.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. But anyway, she ain't winning this match. It's going to Asuka. Asuka's, right. So she's going to be going to WrestleMania to face off with Bianca Belair. And of course, we have a big time tag team match. Edge and Beth Phoenix are taking on the Judgment Day. Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, of course, was the Royal Rumble winner, and she'll be facing Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Does that mean that Judgment Day is going to go to SmackDown?
That is a good question.
Because I'm pretty sure we're getting Ray versus Dom.
We're definitely getting Ray versus Dominic. That's definitely happening.
That's definitely happening.
It is about for the whole shakeup.
Yeah, which was funny. At SmackDown, they actually raced each other in race cars, and then we're getting spicy with each other. Like, this feud has been everywhere. Like, Dom has interrupted multiple holidays, has gotten arrested, and now he's stressing out his dad, racing him. And I like how Finn is just becoming more and more of a different type of gangster. Like, first he was like an LA gangster. He was a cholo at one point. Like, he's going through all of them. Now he looked like an Irish mobster there.
He's going through phases.
He's going through phases. I'm loving this mood for Finn. Like, he's killing it. And then of course the other big match, which will most likely be the main event, because Roman don't work. Not the main event. Roman Reigns is taking on the one and only Sami Zayn, because
just like we said it would happen.
Like we said it would happen. He's taking him on for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
February or March, but not at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because he ain't facing Sami at Mania. Sorry. Sami's got a whole year. If he might get next year, okay? He needs to put in some work. Anything's possible. But of course, we know what's going to happen with that match, but it's whatever. It's going to be entertaining. Now, here's the question, because they say
you want to give your early thoughts on how we think is going to happen.
Okay, yeah. I'm intrigued. What you got?
Because I have Jey Uso getting involved and causing Sami to lose, whether it's accidentally or purposely. But Jey Uso gets involved, Sami loses.
That's the way to go. I mean, because the end game is the Usos versus Kevin and Sami for the tag team championship.
And
now, go ahead.
All I was just saying is Sami, and then we'll be the one to take the belts from the Usos.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is they've got Braun and Ricochet on tomorrow, matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Usos are claiming to not be seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
But you got to deal with Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Like, even like I obviously fucking Ricochet is gonna take the pin, but
he's the weak link, clearly.
Happen.
Yeah. Well, I think Solo's gonna somehow.
He doesn't.
You said what?
Oh, I said I will never watch wrestling again if he doesn't take the pin.
Yeah. So I think somehow Solo will be the difference maker in that match. He's gonna somehow take down Braun, because they've been really selling Solo as like the real deal enforcer. Even Roman refers to him when he wants somebody murked. So,
Right.
yeah, Solo.
Solo.
Oh man. I don't know what's going to happen. Now they're saying because of the previous DUIs that the Usos can't go to Canada, but I'm pretty sure Jay can, even though he's had
Well,
one.
they said neither one of them can go.
Yeah, they said neither one of them. I don't know if that's true because also there was another article saying that if you get written permission or you basically have to get approval, and knowing WWE, they'll grease some palms to make some situations happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we'll see. Any other WWE thoughts? Anything on your mind?
I'm interested.
I thought that was something else, but
Why would that man play games with me? Why would you play games with me?
Yeah, we got a ton of Roman clips in there, so I think the Solo yell is in there
I
somewhere.
was looking. That's what I was looking for.
Solo! Yeah, it's in there somewhere. I mean, Roman's just so quotable. It's just this is why he's the tribal chief.
No, Solo!
I love the Paul Heyman. Oh my God.
Paul, the look on his face is always like he can't believe it. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God, this is really happening.
Like he's scared to death. He is so scared to death.
Yes, my tribal chief.
Yes. You know what's another interesting thing that I found out? The Good Brothers have an interesting clause in their
Yes.
contract.
I just saw that today.
Yeah, they were not at the Royal Rumble. They were actually at the end of Raw or SmackDown. No, they were at the end of SmackDown last week. They came out, as the dark match. So they're still popping up at places, but they were not at the Royal Rumble. They have a clause in their contract that if they don't have anything on their schedule, then they don't need to go. Which I think that's the most smartest thing ever. Like, why having randoms hanging out backstage, eating up all the good food and the catering when they can stay their ass home if we ain't going to use them? That makes sense. But then again, Triple H, he sticks to his scripts. He doesn't he's not like Vince used to be, which again, I have to tell people, I say this and I get so mad. I try my best because I'm trying to stay not in Facebook jail from flipping out on doofuses, but you don't understand how much of a stress factor that Vince McMahon was to people. He used to give these people hell. He used to give his employees hell every day. Like, they said the man would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and would call people with new ideas and stuff and mad at them for not being awake. They said he would show up. He would show up to the arena with a completely new script after they had already been writing it the whole weekend. He would throw it out, and then sometimes the script would even be done while the show was on air.
I've heard about that.
Yes. This is known stuff, and people always blame the writers. People always blame this, that, and the other. Yeah, it's good shit. It's such good shit. But it was this man. This man was a nuisance. This man was a menace. And he didn't give a damn.
What we're going to do is, I know the show's already started, but I got some rewrites that I think will be just.
Guess what? Guess what? Throw this shit in the trash. We got a new script coming.
Hey, let's have right in the middle of one of our big matches.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have the 24/7. Everybody in 24/7. Like,
yeah,
you know what? Right in the middle of the match.
You know what? Throw Jeff Hardy in there too. Vince, Jeff doesn't work here anymore. Oh, okay. Where is he at? Hey, well, it's called JTG. JTG hasn't worked for WWE in years, Mr. McMahon. Oh, shit. That man was a nuisance. Nuisance. Yeah. He called her freaking dewdrop as a fat joke. He called this woman a name as a fat joke, which credit to her for sticking around and making do with that. No pun intended, but great that she is back as Piper Nevin. Because good God Almighty, that poor person. But he's not back, thank God. Or
right.
He's not back in creative, thank God. Because here's the thing, WWE has made more money. Like they said, that was the highest grossing Royal Rumble in history.
That's crazy.
And has made more ad revenue than any other event that they've ever had. Over $1 billion in ad revenue. Now, just to think about that, the numbers don't lie. Now, this is talking, they're selling ads for like commercials, sponsorships, everything. That's why you had the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, which they said they said that was like a cool meal to do that. And so you think that Vince McMahon would be able to slide back into creative by that? They said, and they broke it down instantly from when Triple H started as the chief creative officer. They saw a tremendous hit. In fact, WrestleMania has sold more than any other WrestleMania in history.
That's crazy.
So no, Triple H ain't going anywhere.
No, he's not.
Let's hope Vince doesn't slip anything in his drink, though. So
exactly.
that would be the only worry, is he's going to try to send a hitter. That's best for business. That man, they call him the Game for a reason. He gets it.
It's all about the game.
He does.
And how you play it.
Yeah.
It's real. So he ain't going anywhere. Oh yeah, I did see this. Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch match. You know what? I ain't mad. I can't knock the hustle. If they willing to pay, shit, you could have your name on the match.
Hey, that's my kind of match, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I'm saying it better be a New Day in it. I'm just saying they better be Bootios versus Cinnamon Toast Crunch or something. Yeah, Bootios versus Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It's a hard choice. Hard choice.
Yeah. So I say go for it. Want to talk about, and everyone's white. I'm sorry. All Friends Wrestling. I'm sorry. All Emotions Wrestling. I'm sorry. AEW. You want to talk about that?
You raggedy bitch.
That was good. That was well timed.
That was extremely well timed.
That was extremely well timed. Let's go ahead and talk about the big thing that happened on All Elite last night. I just showed Sir Money at work what happened, and you know what? I would say I would go on record and say it was one of the best endings that AEW has had in a long time. I will say that. And I'm still in shock, but I'm not mad at the choice of what happened. We have new AEW World Tag Team Champions, and that's the Gunn Club.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Yes, they defeated the Acclaimed. One thing, they had one of the craziest ref bumps I've ever seen. That dude did 10 somersaults. Like they
My man got punched on one side of the ring and found his way stumbling out the other side.
He did like a somersault over the top rope, like slammed himself. Like my boy, he must have been a stunt actor or something. Like he flew out that damn ring and died. And died.
He did.
But still somehow counted the pin. But the Guns, so basically they won by a title hit to the face. They hit Billy and then hit what's his face, Anthony Bowens with the titles and took the win. So the Gun Club, they are the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Now a lot of people said this was a surprise, but they actually beat FTR recently. So they had some big wins going in. Now, what will come from this? Because the Acclaimed, of course, they had the biggest reaction lately. One of the highest.
They're over.
The highest merchandise sales. So, but I think this is good. You know, they needed like a good foil. They needed their villains. They needed the people to face off with. And of course, with Billy Gunn as their manager, what better than his own damn sons, who things have been getting tense, especially they're like, you never cared for us. You were never there for us. Like, and now you're not there for us now. But now they're on top of the world. And
I don't think they'll be champions long, though.
They probably won't. I just don't think it's going to go back to Acclaim, though. I do think FTR are going to take these titles from them because they have some unfinished business with the Guns. So, but yeah, that happened. Also, there was a big promo from MJF where he basically told a story about getting in a car accident and then with the girl in the car, and he basically slid over and put her in the driver's seat when the cops showed up.
Yeah, I didn't even hear the promo.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I want to.
It was ruthless. It was a ruthless promo. Well, so much so that over 300 calls were made to the police, because people firmly believe that wrestling it's still real to them. Damn it,
It is.
it's still real. So if anybody tells you kayfabe is dead, they're liars, because it is still alive and well, because they believe everything. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why MJF is the world champion. Loving his feud with Bryan Danielson. Sadly, Danielson is not winning the title, but it's a great feud.
He should.
Yeah, but
he should have won the title a year ago, but that's another story. It ain't happening. MJF's going to keep the title for until CM Punk comes back, which rumor has it it's almost time for him to come back.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I say do it. I'm all about it. He's like, yeah,
at this point, I am so over CM Punk.
First promo, he's like, I am back, you empty-headed dump.
Outside of the controversial stuff that he's done, he's not interesting.
I disagree with you, Ken.
I disagree also.
I disagree, because he was doing some of the best promos, had some of the best feuds, the best matches before all of that happened. Before that moment, everything was pitch perfect. And this is coming from someone who was never a big Phil fan. I was never a big CM Punk fan. He did kind of annoy me. But even in AEW, I got to give him his props. He was killing it.
You know who else wasn't a big Phil fan? Seth freaking Rollins.
Yep. And he said, nope, he can stay gone. Nope, don't bring him in. He said, don't come back here. I think Seth loves this gimmick because he can just say whatever he wants even more, because he's ridiculous and weird. Could the Acclaim cost them the titles, or Bill turns on them and rejoins his kids in 6 months to keep the belts? Honestly, I could see Billy turn it on the Acclaimed. I could see it, because he's always been more heel in his career too. I mean, he's D-Generation X till the day he die. MJF pretty good on the mic, none better right now. Between
Paul Heyman.
Cap, lie.
Easy.
Lie. Cap.
That would be a hell of a promo, though.
Yeah, it would be.
MJF and Paul Heyman.
I'm trying to think who could cut a better promo right now. I think
Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's the best in the business.
Paul Heyman is the best in the business. I'm trying to think wrestler-wise. I feel like someone who's tremendously underrated and will probably be talked about within the next year or so as the best promo is LA Knight.
Oh, yeah.
He single-handedly sold that feud. I don't care with all the spooky Bray shit. He was selling that feud and promoting the product. How can you promote Mountain Dew and still make it about this match? I got to give the man props for that.
Yeah. Let me talk to you.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see what he does next. Honestly, I'd put him on Raw. I think Raw you could use him more than SmackDown. So
I would agree with that.
Yeah, which they're saying the draft will most likely be right after WrestleMania, which I think makes more sense anyway, because WrestleMania is the start.
That's when it traditionally usually is.
Yeah. So
now they haven't done the draft in last year or so, right?
No, they haven't. Not since Triple H took over. Usually it happens in October. It had been happening in October, but since Triple H took over, he's nah. So they're given that time, and I'm pretty sure when they do the next draft, a lot of things are going to look different too. So, because I think he's just finishing out all that stuff, these last bits of the leftover storylines and everything.
I just hope this time the draft is actually the draft. Like, I hope when they go to a show, like, they stay on that show.
Oh no, the brand split is over. It's over. Like, they're gonna do the draft, but the brand split is over.
I don't think so. But
Like, there's only certain people who stay on their side. Other than that, there's like, nah, people just going all over the place. And how are we gonna talk? How are we gonna talk about AEW and didn't even give me a chance to do my obligatory Jade Cargill pick? Like, what are we even thinking here, guys?
She wasn't, but she wasn't on the episode though. But okay.
I mean, she ain't got to be on the episode.
She should be. She's the freaking champion of the channel the show comes on, except they never show her on that damn channel.
You know what I'm saying?
How can we forget that? That's I don't know.
I see that and I'm just like, more.
Or
no, not Kevin Dunn. Not Kevin Dunn. Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Anything else interesting happened on AEW? They're trying this best with this feud with Paige and Tony Storm are now heel facing off with the AEW Women's Originals, and I don't know, something ain't hitting with it. It just ain't. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about it other than it's a thing. Kenny Omega and the Bucks defeated Top Flight and AR Fox to retain the AEW Trios title. On Rampage this week, Mark Briscoe speaks. Jungle Boy is taking on a mystery opponent. Ruby Soho is taking on Take a wild guess who Ruby Soho is facing off with.
Do you want me to take a wild guess?
Oh, you take a wild guess. You know why I'm excited. Who it could be? It could only be one person.
That you're excited about?
Yes.
Who would you be excited about on AEW? That's a woman.
Yes. There's only one person. Come on. It's really not that hard, G.
Is it the DMD?
You know her, G.
Oh, wait. You mean Ruby Soho is gonna take on?
What are we trying to do?
You know me.
Part of the problem. You're part of the problem, Ian.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
Of course.
I didn't know.
You know,
it's Marina Shafir.
It's Marina Shafir, the freaking problem.
The freaking problem promo.
Yeah. The problem is taking on Ruby Soho, and the Blackpool Combat Club will be facing off with Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade. Oh, did you see? Yeah. That's the moment where you think the people know you, but then you hit them with this face. People know you, but they did.
Look, you guys know me.
You know me. You know
me.
You
guys know me.
And then
you don't know
wait
me.
A minute. No, then you think about it. Then you're like, wait a minute. That's like, wait a minute. You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know me. Okay?
You know me. You don't know me.
So you don't know me. Now that I think about it, you raised the problem. You're part of the problem. Okay?
You went to high school with the problem.
You
rode the bus with the problem.
Know me. And then you gotta think about
the problem.
You're like, on second thought,
you skipped school with the problem.
You don't know me. You don't know me. You know what? No. We ain't doing that. You don't know me.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. Okay?
You don't know me.
Greatest promo. Greatest promo in history.
Greatest worst promo of all time.
Yeah, of all time.
Well, I don't know. There was one other promo that was just as good.
Woo wings! Yeah! Woo woo! Wings! Legendary flavors! World Championship wings! Woo! Woo wings!
That's real. I mean, that's just good advertising. Okay.
I'm just saying.
And it's just great advertising.
I just saw this question that was posted, and I think whoever this person, they came in late because we're all of the idea that John Cena will be facing Austin Theory at
Austin
WrestleMania.
Theory.
Yeah.
And then
will it be for the title? I don't know, but
yeah. And then Seth Franklin Rollins is taking on Logan Paul. So
that's right.
Yeah, we know that's coming.
Wings.
Legendary
flavors with the Space Mountain sauce.
Yes. And as Brian Wilkerson said, the figure 4 for 4. Still the greatest. Still the greatest.
They come with some complimentary NWA napkins.
Yeah.
Speaking of NWA, this Saturday they're having a pay-per-view on Fight TV. It's called Nuff Said. And matter of fact, Matt Cardona will be challenging Tyrus for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, thank God.
And speaking of Matt Cardona, he just recently filed. He tried and he failed on some old WWE trademarks. He tried to give the trademark to Zack Ryder, woo woo woo, you know it, and something else, but it fell through. He wasn't able to get it. But anyway, he'll be in the main event.
I felt like he got one of them, but he didn't get them all or something.
He might have gotten something, but I know he didn't get woo woo woo, you know it, and he didn't get Zack Ryder. So he's going to be taking on Tyrus for the NWA World Championship.
Yeah.
I know Angelina Love will be taking on Camille for the NWA Women's World Championship. Psycho Boy Fodder will be taking on Tom Latimer in a Singapore cane match.
Ooh.
Which is like some kendo sticks.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Gonna be real. There's a lot of matches on that card, and I don't remember them all. So all good.
Yeah. So I do got the official ruling. You are right. WWE did let Zack Ryder trademark lapse. I applied for it knowing there was a chance they could fight it, and they have. So that's it. I'm letting it go. He explained that he wanted to own. Yeah, he wanted to own the Ryder trademark to do a cinematic match, but he's not going to go to court over it. Zack Ryder is dead, in my opinion. It's all Matt Cardona, but I did want, for instance, to do that Matt Cardona versus Zack Ryder cinematic match.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, he did not want to wrestle under the Ryder name, but would have utilized the trademark for merchandise.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that. I doubt it. I think that ship has sailed.
I mean, has it though? Because look,
I know his wife's there now.
When you think about guys that leave and reinvent themselves and come back, like if you're not talking about Matt Cardona, who the hell are we talking about? I mean, we're looking at we saw what Drew McIntyre did. He left, he kicked ass as Drew Galloway, and they brought him back. Same thing with Cody Rhodes. I mean, I don't think it'll probably be like soon, but I think it could definitely happen.
I think the problem is he is making a little too much noise. I think I don't think he should have did the trademark thing. I think that was very stupid, and they don't forget stuff like that.
Well, yeah, it's a different regime, different times. So.
Even then, he probably could have talked to them. Huh? He is more forgiving, but I feel like now it's probably going to take like a year or so. And if he would have came to them straight up about it, that's different. Because I feel like WWE, they don't mind if you at least ask them or sign some sort of deal. So, but the fact that you just try to get it because it lapsed, it does seem kind of, that seems kind of weird. He shouldn't have did that, and especially with his wife just starting to work there again. Like,
I mean, Santino did it.
huh?
Santino did it.
I'm pretty sure he probably asked them about it though. Most of the time they'll ask him. Like The Rock even asked about it, and it was just a cool thing. Vince was like, okay. And that's Vince.
I think that's a different situation though, because it's The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
but even then, I think Chris Masters is using his old name now. Freaking Carlito.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Chris Masters can use his name now.
Yeah, he can use his
Chris
name
Masters, now because he's going by Chris Adonis in NWA.
Yeah,
but he's but I think he's slowly trying to use the Chris Masters name, but people know him as Chris Adonis now.
Yeah. And Santino. So I think it is very much I think still it is very much a respect thing. So I think if he would have just been like, hey, is there a chance for me to come back? If not, can I buy my old name? If y'all aren't planning to use it, they probably be like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the harm in asking.
Yeah. But he didn't. So
they still got to make their money.
He did it. Oh yeah, well, that's a perfect example. But then again, I feel like he had that before.
Yo, speaking of EC, I don't know what happened with like EC3 because he did exactly what you would want to do.
Yeah,
but matter of fact, he got in way better shape if that's even possible.
Yeah,
you know, but I
don't know. Who knows?
But then, you know, the thing with Kurt Hawkins, kind of the same deal, because he's doing great as Brian Myers in Impact. He's doing good. Did you see that
Joe Hendry, his music video on them?
Yes, yeah. You the one who showed it to me, right?
Too funny. Yes.
Yeah, that was
so
hilarious.
funny. So funny. Joe Hendry is probably one of the best in the indies, especially. I could see him going to the E eventually and doing the same thing, which I think would be great and entertaining. He does his own music videos. Because, you know, everyone loves Joe Hendry.
Right.
So.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
I posted this comment, right? Posted this comment.
Of course. And then I like this one as well.
Yeah. He mentioned it on this very podcast.
Yeah, he did.
So, speaking of which,
I mean, and since we're talking about EC3, and it seems like my voice came back just a little bit, just a tad bit,
just a little.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason is because my body knew that I needed to spread the gospel of www.freec3.com. Okay, because look, the new year is past.
It is.
Summer bodies are made in the winter. It's technically still winter. Okay. You need that meal plan. You need that workout plan to get yourself looking right. You want to drop a couple pounds, you know what I'm saying? You want the 6-pack or maybe the 4-pack or maybe even a 2-pack. You go to www.freec3.com. That's 3 E's, FREEC3.com. Use code STM for 20% off for life.
For life. See, summer bodies are made in the winter, and then the groundhog saw his shadow, so we got 6 weeks, so you still got more time in the winter anyway.
That's right.
All right, and as always, you need to control your nutrition by smashing the damn diet. So make it happen.
Damn right.
So, any last bits? Let's see. I think I should buy.
I mean,
yeah.
Look, our producer,
he's terrible at his job. Let's just say.
You know, I ain't pointing no fingers.
Yeah. Let's see which side.
You know,
he's on this side on my. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, put him right there. Yeah, he's on this side for me, like that guy right there.
That guy right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there on that side.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? My man's said Bully Ray. You know what? Bully Ray is also, he has a match at NWA Nuff Said. He's going one-on-one with Odinson in a tables match. And so for those who don't know, NWA is back on YouTube.
It's back.
Like I know they have their own like deal with Fight TV or whatever, but now you can watch NWA Power again on YouTube. I believe they have shows on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So now it's easy for me to watch and I can cover it again because, you know, I enjoy my wrestling. So, you know what I'm saying? Now we'll have more to talk about, but NWA is easily accessible. So if you're into the National Wrestling Alliance or you just need some extra wrestling to watch, you know, find some new characters, some old favorites. First, let me say this, and I'm just gonna say it. So I was watching, was it this last Tuesday, and Homicide is there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, he's been there for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still there. He cut a promo. I have no idea what the fuck he said.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't know what I don't know what's going on with Homicide, man. Like, I know he's always been excellent, but I don't know if he just talks like that or like what, but he's like, it was so incoherent. And I'm sitting there the whole time, like, what? He's the face in the situation. And what are you talking about, dude? And it was not like he was talking crazy. It was just like, I literally couldn't make out the words he was saying because it just.
And you know there was somebody in the locker room watching that promo going, that was good.
Yeah, look. Ain't nobody think that. Ain't no way. I think he's just one of those guys where it's like he's been around so long, you just got to let him do what he do.
Who's going to tell him otherwise?
Yeah. Who's going to tell him?
I'm not.
Not me.
I'm not.
Not this guy.
Not me.
Definitely not. You know, so absolutely. So speaking of, I have some more. I had some extra pictures down here. It wasn't that one. Not that one.
Riddle.
Not that one. We went through that. We did that. I saw that finger.
God.
That hijack finger is ridiculous.
So awful.
Okay, we talked about Jerry Lawler. That is excellent. Oh yeah, March 4th.
March Mania.
Yes, indeed. March Mania. There's going to be a battle royal for the last spot on Team RWC when we take on Team AIWF. Oh, and update. I am obviously my voice is gone, but when I started the show, you didn't see me with the RWC Heavyweight Championship. It's because I didn't win it.
Sadly.
I didn't win the RWC Heavyweight Championship. So we're going back to the drawing board and we're going to devise a plan and we're going to make our way back to the top.
So what happened? What happened for those at home?
Yeah.
What happened? You know what? You know what I think it was? I think that I figured that Fodder had so much going on everywhere else. He wasn't going to be on his game. You could say I underestimated him.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought, you're doing all this stuff. I'm here. I'm going to take this and let you do your thing. But he was like, nah, I still want to be here.
Okay.
And he just caught me slipping.
He did. He did.
Things happen.
Good match though.
Absolutely. So, so matter of fact, this whole situation with the AIWF, March 5th, at the AIWF anniversary show, is going to be Team Ring Wars Carolina taking on Team AIWF in War Games.
War Games.
2 matches, 2 rings, cage, and right now on Team RWC, we have the RWC Tag Team Champions, codename Flex and Gemstone. We've got the RWC Junior Heavyweight Champion and School of Morton Champion, James Anthony, and we have the RWC Television Champion, Playboy Alex Bryant. There's 1 spot left on the team.
There's not.
There's a last chance battle royal, and Mr. Magnificent is in this battle royal.
Yes, I am. And
along with the rest of Team Sexy, along with Xander Keys, along with Hunter Rayner, along with the Wrestlers, along with Simply Delicious Dino, I mean,
this is just filler, just having people in. I mean, you might as well just go ahead and say I want. But if you want me to throw people out, I'll do that too.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like that.
Good on you, man. Stay that way.
Yes, we'll get Money Mania.
Yeah.
We'll get Money Mania. Also, super random. That's right. Rip Cannon is in that thing.
Oh, that guy.
So, I'm just saying, Mr. Magnificent, you're gonna have to deal with Rip Cannon, baby.
I'm not worried about a Rip Cannon. Definitely not.
And Popo the Clown is in that.
What?
Yes,
he's back.
Indeed. Wow. I was shocked. But yeah.
Now that's big.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. Rip Cannon, Popo the Clown, Coco the Clown, G Money. I'm gonna win. It doesn't matter who's in it.
Now, of course, where could you see watch this match at?
You know what? Speaking of, they just had one of their episodes premiered today. So you could actually go on YouTube and you can go to Ring Wars Carolina TV. Subscribe to the channel. I would say they drop episodes every Thursday. It just depends on if there's an episode to drop.
And let me tell you,
everything currently up to date.
Especially the lovely sounds of the very best at Talk Wrestling.
That's right. You did. You two did commentate the first shows of the year.
We did.
Episodes 71 and 72.
Gotta start off the tone right,
Yeah,
gotta set the tone, set the bar. So everything else is gonna be okay. But I mean, it's great. It's just great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's excellent. This is what we do, So I got some other news, but I'll probably wait till next week because
we got one question. I think let's finish off with this question here from Brian. He's got a sidebar question.
I thought you was gonna pull it up.
I can't. I have no rights to.
Aha, Mr. Magnificent, what is your finisher?
Well, I, along with my illustrious tag team partner, Sweet Daddy D, our finisher move is the chocolate drop, which essentially is a 3D.
I was just about to say, you better explain it to him.
Mm-hmm. They still haven't done the version that their former sexy consultant, Nigel Teddy Rose, suggested that will make it a lot different, where how you're going in for the 3D, like normal, the guy lifts him up, the other guy needs to bring him down and do an X Factor.
Oh,
yeah, I like
that. Now this guy, he does them like it's interesting. He does that every time,
but he never does it,
and he never does it. So just so you know, he's done this.
It's like you give somebody a suggestion and they're like,
that's a great idea. Except he said this,
and in their head they're like, I ain't doing that shit.
He said this is a great idea for over, honestly, probably like 10 plus years now.
So, yeah, really, yeah. I forget about this stuff.
I know.
He just don't want to work. That's all.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
I got the easy part.
Yeah, you do the lift. I know.
So my finisher.
hey, there's many ideas that have
come
up with.
I would love to see that.
There's many ideas that have come up with that have been stolen. So that's not the first. Won't be the last. That's because I'm an artist. I'm amazing. So I'll have more ideas.
Yeah. So my finisher is called the remix.
Yeah.
And the simplest way that I could explain it to you without showing it to you is imagine the crossroads. You know how Cody sets him up for the crossroads, but it's reverse. Like I'm not taking them over my body. I'm taking them the other way where they take a face bump. So you'd have to see, you know what? I I thought I had a video of me hitting it on Mr. Magnificent, but I don't.
Yeah. You need to keep that in there for all times.
I don't even think that exists.
Nah, I don't either. But it's okay.
It exists somewhere.
Yeah, it's something somewhere.
Mhm.
It's all good. So I'm hoping that by next week, my voice will be a lot better. I don't know what's going on out here because it's
rough out here.
It's definitely rough. It's definitely rough. So look, we just want to. Oh, you know what? I went through this whole show and I didn't put up the social media. So I want to send a shout out to Extreme World Wrestling. Our people over there. Shout out to my man Manny Mack. He streams our show on their Roku channel. You know, Extreme World Wrestling. That's XWW Extreme XTREME. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to oh man, I had it. It was in my head and I lost.
Nation of African American Wrestlers Facebook group, of course, the BWO Black Wrestling Order.
Yes.
Yeah. And isn't there another podcast that we were?
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Oh yeah. Give them hype too.
Ah, there it is. As shout out to the Venom and Smoke podcast.
The Venom and Smoke, yes, that one.
Oh man, I'm going to be a guest on a podcast this Saturday.
Is your voice going to be back?
No, I'm sorry, not this Saturday. Next Saturday.
Okay, I was about to say.
It's next Saturday, and I am looking for the name. Oh man, I don't have the name. Sorry, I'll let you know next week.
Yeah,
I'll let you know next
week.
But we definitely got them on deck. What? You see this? A drink called the Medicine Ball.
Oh, well, get to work. Starbucks.
Yeah, approved.
There's one right by our place of employment. So
yeah, there is, isn't there?
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So Mr. Magnificent he told us that he was like, oh, before we leave, I gotta tell everybody something. So
yeah.
This is so important. So important. Is actually I've been waiting all show to say this. Are you ready?